And a lot of them, although they don't want to be out being shot at in battle, also don't want to be humiliated by running away in battle in front of a bunch of people they know. And if you run away from battle, you know that there's a letter that's going to beat you home saying that, goddamn yellow-bellied coward son of a bitch, he run when the rest of us stayed and fought. And not only is that going to be embarrassing, but it's also going to have real concrete effect on your romantic prospects and your employment prospects, because nobody wants to date or marry or hire somebody who runs away when the rest of them understood. So that's one thing. Think about the lines too. If you've got 600 men packed into lines, how does that help people withstand the trauma of combat? What if you want to run away? What if the bullets start flying and you're like, I am out of here. This is not for me. You're packed into lines. There's not a lot of places to go. Everyone's going to see you. And there are men in your own army who are standing there watching you with pistols to make sure you don't run away. So there are carrots and sticks that help the men stay and fight. The fighting along Bloody Lane is unbelievably savage. And in part because of this sunken trough, there are places they say that the blood is pooled and made almost a small little river. The bodies, because this is such a confined area, are stacked 3 and 4 deep in some places. And there's a particularly gruesome true story as the bullets are flying down here. A lot of the officers are being killed, and so their second in commands are being promoted. One of those guys is a South Carolina officer named Charles Chew. He's a lieutenant colonel, and the colonel of his regiment is killed. And a courier comes up to tell him that he's been promoted and he's going to take command. Got to remember, by the time the battle's has been raging for an hour or two, there's thick white smoke everywhere. So not only are you obscured from seeing things by the hills, but also these big clouds of smoke. Everybody is deaf because there have been guns pounding off in their ears and nobody's got ear protection. The courier comes up to tell Lieutenant Colonel Chew that he is now in command of the regiment. He says, "What? Sir, you are now in command of the regiment." "What? Sir, you are now in command of the regiment." Charles Chew is a graduate of the Citadel. He's an old South Carolinian, so he's this very dramatic gesture. He takes off his hat and he does this deep bow to say, "I accept the great honor of leading this regiment." And as he bows over, a Union bullet comes over, enters his temple, goes through the front part of his brain and exits the other temple. And in doing so, it knocks both of his eyes out, which are dangling by the optic nerve. But it doesn't kill him. So Charles Chew's men will take him and lay him against the back slope of the Bloody Lane while he kind of dies over the course of the next 20 or 30 minutes. It's a really gruesome story, but I think it's important to tell the kind of story about what the bullets do to very vulnerable human flesh. A lot of people are getting killed. 4,000 soldiers are going to die. 4 or 5 times that are going to be wounded, and most of them are going to have really difficult times in the hospitals. We'll touch on that at the next stop. The Union is going to attack a bunch of times over this hill and try to take Bloody Lane. They can't. What's the best place to attack Bloody Lane from what you know at the cornfield? Yes. You want to get down that end and you want to flank it. And midday, a group of Union soldiers, New Hampshire, Pennsylvania, and New York soldiers finally come around the end. And I have on the primary source handout, you read the Bloody Lane section, there's one section about that. The New Hampshire colonel has his men put gunpowder on their faces like they're Indian warriors. It says, "Give them the war whoop." They swing around and they finally manage to dislodge the Confederates from this position. There's a moment now where the Union might put in its reserve troops and get a breakthrough here. George McClellan is a mile and a half back at his headquarters. He only comes to the battlefield once, and the information just doesn't get back to him fast enough, and he's very cautious to begin with, so the Union is not going to exploit what happens here.